Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's session on research instrument development. We'll be focusing on designing and validating research instruments using the Content Validity Index (CVI) approach, a systematic method for ensuring your measurement tools accurately assess what they're designed to measure. Whether you're developing surveys, assessments, or clinical tools, this session will equip you with practical techniques to strengthen your instrument's validity. Let's begin. In today's session, we'll follow a structured two-phase approach. First, instrument design, where we craft our measurement tool with precision. Second, content validation, where we rigorously test its validity using the CVI method. Let's begin with phase 1, the art and science of designing effective research instruments. Now, let's explore phase 1, instrument design, which consists of 3 critical steps. First, we'll determine the content domain, carefully mapping out exactly what we need to measure. Then, we'll move to item generation, transforming our theoretical constructs into concrete questions. Finally, we'll focus on instrument construction, assembling these elements into a cohesive measurement tool. Step 1, determining the content domain. This foundational step requires researchers to systematically identify the precise content area encompassing our target variables, explicitly define all relevant attributes and characteristics of the construct, establish clear conceptual boundaries to delimit the measurement scope, specify the core dimensions and components that constitute the construct. Suppose you want to measure the leadership qualities of school principals. You would start by reviewing existing literature on educational leadership to identify key attributes such as decision-making skills, communication effectiveness, and ability to inspire teachers. You might also conduct interviews with experienced educators and hold focus groups with teachers to gather qualitative insights. This helps you define the boundaries and components of the construct educational leadership. Once the content domain is defined, items, questions, or statements are generated to represent the construct. This involves using qualitative data from interviews and focus groups to enrich the item pool. Ensuring that the items align with the research questions and are relevant to the construct is crucial. Example, in the context of educational leadership, you might create items such as the principal effectively communicates the school's vision to the staff, or the principal makes decisions that positively impact student learning. These items are intended to reflect the key attributes identified in the initial step, instrument construction. In this step, the generated items are carefully refined and systematically organized into an appropriate format and sequence. The primary objective is to develop a usable instrument that accurately measures the intended construct. Example, you would refine the items for clarity and relevance, then organize them into sections based on different leadership qualities, such as decision-making, communication, and inspiration. The final instrument might be a survey with a Likert scale, for example, strongly agree to strongly disagree, for each item, ensuring it is user-friendly and effectively measures the construct of educational leadership. Here is the initial draft of the research instrument to assess the educational leadership effectiveness of school principals. These are the domains and items constructed to assess the educational leadership effectiveness of school principals. The domains include decision-making skills, communication effectiveness, ability to inspire and motivate, instructional leadership, and organization management. We have now completed stage 1, instrument design, Zamanzadeh et al., 2015. Let's proceed to stage 2, content validation, Yusuf, 2019. Phase 2, content validation. This stage consists of 6 steps. 1. Preparing the content validation form. 2. Selecting a review panel of experts. 3. Conducting content validation. 4. Reviewing domains and items. 5. Providing scores for each item. 6. Calculating the Content Validity Index, CVI. Let's use this scoring method to guide the panel of experts. Scoring method. Zamanzadeh et al. 2015. Relevance. 1. Not relevant. 2. Item needs some revision. 3. Relevant but needs minor revision. 4. Very relevant. Clarity. 1. Not clear. 2. Item needs some revision. 3. Clear but needs minor revision. 4. Very clear. Here is a sample letter for the experts. This is a sample content validation form. In this example, the domain decision-making skills is defined and the items are presented. Experts will score the relevance and clarity, and the last column is for comments and suggestions. For example, this is the research instrument that you were able to design to assess the educational leadership effectiveness of school principals. The process of selecting reviewers for instrument evaluation prioritizes subject matter expertise relevant to the study's focus. Although content validation can technically proceed with only 2 experts, methodological guidelines strongly recommend engaging between 6 to 10 qualified specialists. This range, 6 to 10 experts, represents the optimal balance between comprehensive feedback and practical feasibility, as supported by both research evidence and established validation practices. Yusuf, 2019. Content validation can be conducted using either a face-to-face or a non-face-to-face approach. In face-to-face approach, this involves organizing an expert panel meeting where the researcher facilitates the content validation process. While this method ensures high response rates and immediate feedback, it can be challenging and costly to coordinate all experts to meet at the same time. While the non-face-to-face approach, typically an online content validation form is sent to the experts. This method is cost-effective and convenient, but it may face challenges with response rates and timely feedback. However, systematic follow-ups can improve response rates and timeliness. The key factors to consider when choosing an approach are cost, time, and response rate. The face-to-face approach may be more costly and time-consuming, while the non-face-to-face approach can be more efficient with proper follow-up. Reviewing domain and items, experts receive the domain definition and draft items. They score each item's relevance and provide feedback, which is then systematically integrated to optimize content validity. Once the experts have thoroughly reviewed the domain and its items, they are asked to independently score each item using a relevance scale. This scoring process is crucial, as it captures the experts' unbiased evaluations. After completing the scoring for all items, the experts submit their responses to the researcher, ensuring that all feedback is collected systematically for further analysis and refinement. Calculating Content Validity Index, CVI. Content Validity Index, or CVI, comprises 2 distinct metrics. 1. Item level CVI, I-CVI, evaluating individual items, and 2. The scale level CVI, S-CVI, assessing the entire instrument's validity. The Item Level Content Validity Index, I-CVI, is the proportion of content experts giving item a relevance, clarity rating of 3 or 4. Scale Level Content Validity, S-CVI. 2 methods for calculating S-CVI are S-CVI, AVE, Scale Level Content Validity Index based on the average method. S-CVI UA. Scale Level Content Validity Index based on the Universal Agreement Method. The Scale Content Validity Index, average, S-CVI. AVE represents the mean relevance, clarity rating across all scale items, calculated by averaging the I-CVI scores from expert evaluations. The Scale Content Validity Index, Universal Agreement, S-CVI, UA, represents the average of relevance, clarity rating across all scale items, calculated by averaging the sum of UA scores from expert evaluations.